Eagles Web Boxing, where you get the real, not just some deal. Eagles Web Boxing, where you get the real, not just some deal. Eagles Web Boxing, where you get the real, not just some deal. Eagles Web Boxing, where you get the real, not just some deal. Eagles Web Boxing, where you get the real, not just some deal. Yeah, yeah. All right, all right. Yep. Yeah, we back at this again. Back at this boxing again. I know everybody got their discussions and stuff. Yeah, but we back at it. I see Shadow 979 show up. So yeah, there's no problem on that Saudi Arabia thing. So I still don't know if it's 100, even if they are presenting that to us. I still just don't know if it's really going to be 100 there. But that was just I threw that out there yesterday because boxing is very volatile right now. And then you got to look at different angles. You got to look at venues. You got to look at time of year. You got to look at a lot of stuff now that you didn't used to have to look at. You could trust what they say, but no, you can't trust what they. You can't trust what nobody says anymore. So I just threw it out there, and if it was true that Khan wouldn't grab some money, then maybe there's money over there right now that they just maybe they, because of their doing a lot of developments over in that country, and they need entertainment, and you never know. So I don't keep up with the economics of the world, so it is what it is, and nothing's going. This stuff is just not going to surprise me. You know. Let me see if I got my title up there. Oh yeah, who is the best? Yep, I got it up there. Is this? My live is kind of right now. I don't know. I tried twice, but it looks like the health is kind of bad right now. So I'm glad I don't have the video on. I just have my music going, so just gonna chill for a second just to make sure. Okay, it says that they're not receiving enough video. I don't know what kind of video they want. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully it'll be okay. Oh, you heard it on the radio. It says official. I know, but they say that a lot of times. They say stuff is official. Yeah. No, I didn't feel that. Yesterday, I'm just saying. I didn't feel that it was any kind of disrespect yesterday, or we just. I mean, I just brought that up, and I know a lot of people's looking at me like, oh, he don't know what he's talking about. He's crazy. And then next day, what happened? And then it comes out. That the fight's gonna be over in Saudi Arabia. Because remember, I was mentioning a couple of cities over there. I said they got money over there, so yeah. No, which the fight with AJ and Ruiz supposed to be over in Saudi Arabia, so it is what it is. If it's there, it's there. Yeah, I wasn't that wasn't gonna be my topic today. If you see, I was talking about who's the best, or who was the best. Yeah, I was talking about who's the best, and I'm just throwing out another little debate because people always, everybody has their opinion, and I listened to all the arguments. I listened to all the who had the who's a one puncher, knockout puncher, and stuff like that. And I heard names. I agree with them. Deontay Wilder, Ernie Shavers, Julian the Hawk Jackson. But everybody leaves out probably one of the top three, and that's actually Sugar Ray Robinson. A lot of people didn't even know that Sugar Ray Robinson could put you out with one punch. And he had a lot of one punch KOs. Yeah. Yeah. You say the 7th of December, Shadow 9. Yeah. See, and remember what I was saying yesterday? That's the same thing I was saying yesterday. I said if it's around, it's going to be a bad time. That's a bad time for a fight over in the States. Somebody knows something I don't know. Because Americans, we celebrate. We celebrate all those holidays and stuff. Nobody's trying to spend that much extra money. All right, we see you, Stephen Lamontez Hawkins. We see you out there. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, man. You like anything about what I say, you can push that subscribe and that bell icon if you haven't already done that. And you get a different, you get a little bit of a different twist with the Eagle Web. I make people think about other stuff. Yeah, yeah. I make people think about others, this different stuff that they might have let go. So sometimes we let stuff go, and we don't. Uh, we ignore the past boxes and stuff, and not necessarily just ignore. It's just what happened is people get stuck in talking about certain narratives about past fighters, what they could do, and I want to. I haven't done my videos like I've been wanting to do. Just been busy working, so. But I'll get my boxing videos up. So I'm just gonna go step by step, through the boxing process. And this is what when people talk about skill set, and you take fighters, um, and you put them you teach them, basics, and then they just develop their own styles, and then that's how you come up with that whole idea. Styles make the fights. And Sugar Ray he had a great style for him, for his body type and his speed, because he was just so fast. Uh, but a lot of people don't know he didn't like to box. He boxed for just like Deontay Waters boxing for his family, and that's the same thing he did. He didn't have a little girl with the same kind of medical conditions or nothing like that, but he was boxing for family. A lot of people didn't know that he did not really necessarily like to box, but ended up being probably the greatest fighter to me. I mean, what other professional fighter do you know that had over 200 professional fights and over 170 wins? What, close to 180 wins and over 100 knockouts? I'll wait. I'll wait until you answer that one. And then look good doing it. Oh, there he is. Don Dada. Salute to you, King. You finally got that noti, huh? You got that noti now, you in here with us, yeah? We're talking about one of the greatest today, and a little bit of other stuff that came up. Everybody, now I look like a prophet now, huh? Because of that whole Saudi thing that we talked about yesterday. And I think all you guys were actually in here yesterday when we talked about that Saudi thing. Had no idea. Look, next day, like I'm a fortune teller or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, for all you people that's on the wall also, you can smash the like button if you like anything. If you're not participating in chat, you can always, smash the like button. Because evidently you like boxing, you want to learn. But don't worry, I'm going to put out the videos. I'm going to put out the videos for everybody to learn too, because we're going to go through the whole basic. We're going to start with the jab. I'm not going to try to rush. I don't want to rush everything. We're not going to rush nobody. It's just for information. So don't go thinking that you're a professional afterwards. You start learning something. Say, oh, yeah, I got this now. Go out there and fight and get starts. Don't do that with it. No. Get the warning ahead of time. Get out there and get mopped for thinking you got it. Oh, I got it like that now. Yeah. That eagle face. Oh, yeah. He showed me how to do this. Throw hands like that. All right, got this. Yeah. But Sugar Ray Robinson, he did a lot of things. There's some negative things that happened in his life, and then there's some positive things that happened in his life. But I'm not really going to discuss, where he came from, because we know that he moved up north from the south. He spent some time in the army. But okay, I'll tell you one thing. Now you're talking about Cinnamon Bun, Canelo, franchise champion, and all this nonsense. But what has he done, actually for, people? Not just boxing, but what has he done for people? Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson and other so-called African American fighters, when they were in the army, they had a special group of them that they used to go around and they used to do exhibitions and stuff. And they were doing an exhibition in the South, and they wouldn't allow the African American soldiers to participate or to be there. And Sugar Ray said it wasn't gonna be no show. He said they wasn't gonna do it if they didn't let the African Americans watch. And so he made a big change just in that, just in the army like that. He made a big change. Yeah, and other change, also other changes too. It was other venues that he had to speak up for, and wasn't great with the money, but his idea with the money was great. You know, because he had all the the businesses and stuff. Like I said, I'm not really gonna cover all this, but he had the businesses and stuff like that failed. But a lot of people give Muhammad Ali the credit with the money bags, even me, because the money was bigger with Muhammad Ali. But Sugar Ray Robinson would get, like, sometimes he would get like 50-60% of the gate. He would negotiate. He wouldn't fight, and just the figures, made sense to him. The money had to make sense to him. So he was a real negotiator. And at the time where they had, mob, they had the mobs back then, to where they, fighters had to take falls of, he said, you're gonna win this or you're gonna lose this. He didn't go for that. And the mob, didn't bother him about it. They respected him for it. And then we're, like right now, we're waiting for Canelo to just fight anybody. He's constantly losing belts right now because he don't want to fight the top three. I just don't want to fight nobody that we want him to fight. And here, Sugar Ray Robinson went on a tour with his family. He went over to Europe, and I believe it was less than 30 days. He fought 5 times. He won all 5 of the fights, and 4 of them he won by knockout. But the athletes are so much better today. That's why they got VADA testing, and that's why they on steroids, and that's why they on PEDs, and that's why they go less rounds, is because they're so much better. So I never ever wanted to hear stuff like that, because I know that my great grandfather, even though I got I've done some things that a lot of people have never done, as far as strength wise, but I know I couldn't match up with my great grandfather as far as strength. But everybody thinks that the fighters now are so much more superior or whatever. And Sugar Ray Robinson could punch and take a punch. Even as great as these fighters are today, I can't see one of them really messing with him as a welterweight because of his speed, and he had that determination heart. And even if you did win, he'll come back and get you. And that's what he always done. He always come back and he always avenged any of his losses. Was it Turpin? I thought he was fought over in Europe that beat him the one time, and he was actually beaten him the second time. And then Robinson it got late in the rounds and just smooth knocked him out. But that I believe when he lost that first fight, it was because of other reasons. I think that he was up to some things. I'll just say he was up to some things over there that might have weakened him a little bit. Just leave it like that. You guys can do the research on stuff like that. I'm not huge on a lot of research on certain topics, but when it comes to I like to go off I like to go off my experience. I let other people read. or I'll give you like some hints or something like that of what to read. There's books and stuff that you could read, and I read. I've read, and I still do read. Some of the stuff I just don't. Um, I don't know if it seems like it's too biased. Then if even if you're doing a biography or whatever you're doing, a story is biased. I'm not. I might not pay that much attention to it. But get some of the old books, like the real old boxing books. It's hard to find. You might go to like a thrift store or something. You might be able to find them, but that's hard. You have to really be a boxing nut and just look and look and look. But at one point, I had got so upset with education that, and I don't really regret it. I might regret losing some of my books, but I actually threw all my books away in a dumpster. All the stuff that I like went to college and stuff for. I paid for all those books too. Didn't sell them or nothing. I just threw them all out. I was just so mad. As, and it wasn't just because it wasn't just my books. It's just that my boys wouldn't read, and they had information right there for them. And I said, okay. Sometimes I go on a little tirade. I'm like, okay, you don't want to take care of this. If somebody don't take care of stuff, I just we'll just toss that out. We don't need it. We don't want to take care of it. Why keep stuff that you're not going to take care of? So, yeah. And then again, history. I'm more of a orator when it comes to history. I got real big ears. I like to listen. So you always listen to the elders and stuff. And we have special celebrations and stuff for our elders. And I like to participate anytime I get a chance. And I like to listen to the elders, how they talk about the land here on top. This is my boxing channel. And I would love to talk about boxing all the time. Every once in a while, I'll have a native flashback or something, and I'll talk about my people, and I'll talk about this land, and I'll mention the fact that you can't take land, that you could put some dirt in your pocket and walk off with it, but you can't take land. And just because if you have a house, and somebody just starts moving furniture in it, you already have furniture in it, they just start living there, doesn't mean that it's their house. You understand? And I have this discussion. A lot of times I have this discussion with people. I said, no, our land was never taken. Somebody just moved in. Just because you make a building on top of something, the land doesn't disappear. You just put something on top. Once that building eventually falls down, you see the land again. Because one thing, man did not make the land. Man did not make the earth. He tries to destroy the earth, but man didn't make it. He can put stuff on it. He can do what he wants to, but the earth, slowly comes back to what it is. Yeah. I'll see you out there, Joseph Brown. Yeah. Thanks for coming in. Yeah. Yeah, but Sugar Ray. 5 fights. Imagine that. 5 fights in less than 30 days. 4 KOs. If that's not impressive, then I don't know. I don't know how to impress the younger boxing fans or fanboys. I don't know how to impress them, or because it wasn't my feat, but it's something that I can appreciate. That somebody's out there, grinding and working that hard, for the money, and didn't see. This is the whole thing. I heard him talk about it. That he don't like boxing. Just listen to some of his old interviews. I don't like boxing. But look how good he was at. Just think if he really liked boxing, if he was intrigued and in love with the sport, and just even more dedicated than what he was, he might not have lost. He might not have lost any fights. Because he got out of boxing and got back in boxing. he did tap dancing for a while. Opened up, I think he opened a club. Yeah, that was his biggest thing. I heard that a lot of people didn't like when he shut his club down. But I know he had a barbershop, uh, a youth center that he was starting up. So those are the type of things that if you go back to talking about franchise or people's champ and stuff like that, those are the type of things. Yeah. Almost won the light heavyweight fight. I think it was for a championship. I usually have all this stuff pinned down or written somewhere, because I'm not great with names all the time. Because we have a lot of sobriquets about people's names. That we have a lot of different names, that we use. So I'm used to saying stuff. I'm used to saying things that have something to do with animals and stuff when I'm talking to a lot of people. And for some reason, there's a lot of birds. And different color birds maybe I'd never even seen. Green River Hawk or something. I'm like, what? Green River Hawk? Who's that? Gotta try to remember who they are. You know, Rising Eagle or something. Names like that. Yeah. But what happened in that fight is I think he quit in the 14th round. I don't know if anybody in the chat knows who he was fighting for the light heavyweight, but it was 105 degrees in the ring, and he was actually winning. I think he was won like about 12 to 14 rounds, but the heat got to him. He just, and he had blisters and everything on his back, all over his body. After the fight was over, he just couldn't take it. Now think about that. If the corner was smart enough to have ice bags, you know what I mean? And every time he came for his 1 minute break in between rounds, that they took those ice bags and just covered them with a blanket with a bunch of ice bags on it. Then the conversation about him would probably be a lot different than what it is now. It'll be a lot different because then he would have been a light heavyweight, from welterweight to light heavyweight. And he came in the fight at 157. He was outweighed, I think, by 19 pounds. So that's just going in, and that's not no, they didn't worry about the rehydration and all that. Whatever they weighed, that's what they weighed. They usually fought what they weighed. That's what they weigh, because they weigh in. Hey, that's what they're fighting at. No, they didn't. Oh, let me gain 20 pounds to go in and fight. No, they used to fight. But these fighters, these so much better fighters now, call each other, stuff like, oh, weight bullies and all that. Well, what's a weight bully? If somebody is fighting at 115 and then they're fighting somebody else and the person that's fighting them blows up to like 160, yeah, I could probably call that being a weight bully, because now you're not even fighting in your class. And a lot of them, like when you just fight out of your class, because a lot of these fighters, they fought in their class, and when they fought, they were actually in that class. But now fighters are so much better that when they're fighting in a class, they're not really fighting in that class. They're fighting in a whole different class. You're fighting light middleweight and you're coming in as a light heavyweight. But that's okay as far as the conversation on boxing. That's actually okay now. The people say, oh yeah, how much you think he's going to come in during the fight? See, that's our discussion now. What do you mean how much is he gonna weigh during the fight? This is how much he's supposed to weigh. This is the weight limit. The weight limit is from here to here, and that's what he should be fighting at. Shouldn't be coming in 20 pounds up and all this. And in one day, are you gaining muscles? Are you really rehydrating your muscles with 20 pounds of whatever fluid and food you put in there? Is that really going to muscles? And that's a health risk if your muscles shrink down like that and you try to blow them back up. So you got to be careful how much weight you done lost and then try to put it back on, because you're not really putting on muscle. It's just weight. Because your muscles ain't gonna just shrink down like that. Yeah, hey man, you'll be sick if your muscles actually just really shrunk down. Because you still got blood going to them, right? So what kind of, you know, amino acids and enzymes and everything else? What's going to that muscle to make it actually bigger and stronger? You could be like water dehydration that's a little bit different, but then that's a shaky area too, because you can hurt yourself real bad dehydrating yourself down too much. Now I can see that. Now you could lose 10 pounds, probably 10 pounds of water weight and that's for that's maybe for a middleweight or something like that you could lose, and it won't hurt you. But some people can't do that. It'll hurt them real bad, because you got what you call your electrolytes and stuff, which you got your sodium, magnesium, and potassium, and other minerals. They help the muscles to fire. So the muscles open up. They go to relax mode, and then they tighten back up. See, and you need those minerals and stuff in order for that to happen, or else you end up getting cramps. And sodium used to be like a real blame for like cramps, is because loss of sodium. But it's not just sodium though. And the stuff they give you to rehydrate you it's mostly just sodium and because sodium is like the faster remedy than some of the potassiums. You got to be careful with potassium too. That's why they give you sodium, because sodium is more or less safer, and it's just one of the elements that you need, one of the minerals that you need, but it's safer. I mean, what you gonna get? You can get high blood pressure, but you're probably not gonna get that like in one day for loading yourself up on sodium, and it's gonna be temporary if you did. But they can't give you too much potassium. They can't really like overdo it on magnesium. That's why when you read ingredients on stuff that's to hydrate you, you'll never see the percentage of those things being too high. Sodium is the only thing that's real high in everything. Sodium is always real high. So that whole argument about how much somebody's coming in at, I'm going to come in at this weight, I'm going to come in at that weight. Just come in and fight, and try to educate, get the fans, get them away from that whole thing of talking about, oh, somebody is so much bigger. The thing about, I'm talking back about the Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence. Yeah, Errol Spence just beat him up, and Mikey fought at 147. But you can't tell me that somebody who's supposedly walking around at 175 or 180 is smaller than somebody who's walking around smaller than them, just because they fight at a higher class. For me, it doesn't add up. You're not smaller. Or if you're smaller, just put on a couple more pounds. And how many pounds are you talking about? From 140 to 147. That's only 7 pounds. And if spread out over your whole body, how much more is that? That's not a jump. I'm sorry. Somebody can argue with me, but that's just not a big jump. A big jump is like from 147 to 175. Now that's a big jump right there. Or maybe even 168. That's a pretty big jump. Anytime you go over 10 plus pounds, like 10 plus like real pounds, not water weight pounds, but 10 plus pounds of muscle, we'll say like 15 to 25 pounds of muscles, and that's a jump. But they cry when their fighter loses or something, and then there's always excuses. Well, if a fighter loses, I can just say, I'd rather just say how he lost. If it's some kind of controversy, yeah, we're going to talk about it probably forever, because you're never going to get everybody convinced that their fighter didn't win. You're just not gonna get. You're not gonna do that. You'll get some of them. Some of them will come aboard, but then a lot of them they won't come aboard. Okay, so we talk about even like the speed. People talk about foot speed, hand speed, and like I said, I'm on Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray had great foot speed. They said that he a lot of narratives when they talk about him even punching you. They said he never really punched anybody out of position. So everything he threw at you, it kind of buzzed you, hurt. You know, he didn't throw punches where they wasn't going to land and do a little bit of something to you. And I don't like to quote people that I don't really know. Where the source came from, but I do it sometimes. But he had a lot of one punch knockouts. When we talk about one punch knockout artists, I know everybody thinks the king is the king, yes, and there's other people in that conversation, and he's also in that conversation. I know I said it earlier, but he's in that conversation too. He could put you away with one punch, and you could research, and they'll show you a prime example of his one punch knockout. Yep. And I believe that was at middleweight. So just look that up. I'm like I said, right now I'm not interested in names and stuff. I'll give you names. I'll give you names later. Um, Fuller. Fuller, yeah, because he has so many great fights. When you got over 200 fights, it's no doubt that yes, you're just a total boxing historian. You're not gonna know every fight of every fighter. Well, he had over 200 fights, professional fights. Over 100 knockouts, and won over 170 of them. I believe it was 179 fights that he actually won. So that's a lot of fights. And then we got people like Tank Davis. Can't even get him to fight more than once a year. But those are all situations that we just have to look. We have to just sit back as fans and just let it go how it goes. We gotta wait. We always gotta wait and see. Like I said, nobody wants to believe that I said that you're on a ride when it comes to this boxing. That you're on a ride that you don't want to be on. That everybody will wake up. Well, not everybody, but people will start waking up. You know what I mean? They'll start waking up and they'll see, yeah, I'm on a ride, and I don't want to be on this ride no more. Just tell us some truth. Give us some truth about what's going on in this boxing, so we can enjoy it. Because if not, we're not going to be able to, enjoy boxing the way that we want to enjoy the boxing. You got to always sit there and wonder, oh, who's fighting, or where they fighting at? Are you sure are they really gonna fight? And then, what's the other narrative that we have now? Oh man, they popped Dirty. Oh wow. And the biggest one for last year was Big Baby, right? I know everybody stayed on him. Yeah. Big Baby Miller. He blew that opportunity. But I'm glad that he didn't make it anyway though, because he wouldn't have fought the champ. No, he wouldn't have fought the champ. Then we would have still been stuck. And even right now, man, I don't know about you guys, but I'm nervous about this whole Ruiz and Joshua thing. I'm not nervous for me. I'm nervous for the champ for some reason because it's like they pulling the, they doing something. Okay, they pulling the wool or whatever. They doing something. I'm not gonna say what it is because right now I'm kind of one for one on my fortune telling. So I'm just not gonna say. I'm just gonna keep it to myself. I might write like a little a comment in somebody's uh, chat room, and I'll make sure that's in. Excuse me. I'm gonna make sure that is not capitalized. Just real small. I'm just gonna throw it out there or something like that. But yeah, they up to something. And like I said, that Saudi thing, we gotta keep our out. I'm gonna check it out. I gotta find out what's going on over in Saudi Arabia, to where I know they got a lot of money, so they do all kinds of stuff with the money that they have over there. So they, who knows? One of the zone got boxes because they supposed to have so much money, right? So one of their copycat, one of their being copycats, right? Over there, they got some billionaires over there. Say, well, we can get some fighters too. We can get fights over here. We don't have very many fighters. We can get them over here because they want that money. Yeah, you say shut on that. Yeah. Okay, Brandon. Brandon said Ruiz better knock AJ out then. Yeah, that. Yep, that's why I'm nervous. Because if for some reason Ruiz don't knock him out, it's gonna be like, man, I can't give up on boxing, but I'm gonna be just like, I'm not gonna know what to say to you guys no more. I'm just not gonna know what to say. It's like, wow. Because then how many more stories we gotta live through before we get a Deontay Wilder with Joshua fight, which we may never get. That's gonna, man, that's gonna kill every damn thing. Shadow 9, you said I might be right. You said you may be right. You called it right on the venue. Yeah. Well, yeah, we were talking, and I just happened to be, correct on that one. It's because I'm watching boxing. I'm not just watching the boxers. I'm just watching all the stuff that's going on. And right now, it's at a dirty level right now. It's at a dirty level. Like back when Sugar Ray fought, it was at a dirty level. But everybody know where the dirt was coming from. It might have been double crossing back there, but it was more serious back then. If you double cross somebody, what happened to you? Huh? Yeah, you was pushing up grass back then if you did a double cross on somebody. But now everybody's snaking everybody. So you don't, and then they got this. They have all these deflection and diversion tactics to where you think something else is going on. You say, wait a minute now. He's doing what to what to who? Somebody will point the blame, and then they got you looking at somebody that has nothing to do with it. You're looking at somebody that has nothing to do with it. You're just looking at him like, oh man, yeah, it's his fault, and he had zero to do with it. Like right now, who's the biggest scapegoat for everything? PBC, yep. Al Heyman, right? But then we got other things going on. No, if this is 100%, well, we got to say that it's 100% about this whole Saudi thing. I'm like, like I said, I've been saying it, but I said this months. I don't know. Like I said this months ago. I said we on this ride, man. We on this ride. We don't got no control of the speed. We don't got no control of the brakes. And I think that feels worse. That feels worse than any kind of mob activity, because the mob activity, if you wanted to keep your life, you did what you was told. But at least you knew where it came from. But now it's not. It's not life. It's just that it's the money and deception and the power, or to just seem like you have power. I just want to make it seem like, you know what I mean. I want to make it seem like I got the power to do it, and that's what a lot of these phonies are doing, making it seem like they got some kind of power. You know, they want. I want to control. I want to control the heavyweights and all that. You Brandon Dixon, you said double crossing would get you touched by an angel. You got that right. Oh, you get touched by the devil or the angel. You get touched by the devil, then you get touched by the angel, huh? So nice. Dog eat. That's right. Dog eat the dog. Yep. If you ain't a big enough dog, you ain't gonna eat. South Nine back in there again. Barbershop Conversation just dropped a video about the fight. Yeah. Okay. I gotta probably go check that out when I get some time. I'll be busy. I usually travel tonight or tomorrow. I'll be traveling, going back. I'll be going back to the belly of the beast, and sell some of my native stuff. Go up there with my brothers up there, cause they're there. So I gotta travel sometime. I don't mind. Sometimes you gotta travel. We're trying to build, man. We're gonna be able to come out and see. We're gonna be able to come out and see some of you guys. Probably I'm just shooting probably for next year. I don't know if this year we're gonna be able to make it because it's getting late into the season and stuff. But we'll hook up. We'll probably see some of you guys. Because you guys have a lot of events in your areas, especially like in the Midwest and the Midwest, East Coast, all around the outside of the United States, and then up in the central parts of Canada, well, everywhere, everywhere. So we'll be able to make it. Let me see. All right, he's saluting out everybody to the whole chat. Yeah. Yeah, I wish the ones on the wall would just, drop down off the wall, stop being flies, and just drop down. Anyway, hit that thumbs up. Drop down off the wall every once in a while. Nobody's gonna bite you. And y'all gonna bite. You mods gonna bite. Tell them this is a small chat. We not like that in here. Mods. Richard said, "Wait a minute, I ain't got to hammer nobody yet." Yeah, so one comment and I don't know how many of y'all got. I got 5 of y'all in here. And y'all start cracking skulls. We talking about that mob activity, and then y'all start, say, hey, wait a minute, we just talking about mob. We a mob. We a rich mob. Just start cracking. Yeah. But this ride, man. What you say, Brandon? You said you'll bite, laughing out loud. Yeah. But yeah, this ride though is not. I'm not comfortable. I don't know if you guys are comfortable with it, but I'm not comfortable being taken for nobody's ride. When I was a kid, I used to like to go for rides, but that was a whole different situation. But now I'm a grown ass man. I don't want to be going for nobody's ride. What do you mean we going for a ride? Yeah. Say, do you like this? Yeah. Well, you got to go for this ride. Damn, why I got to go for a ride? How come I can't just sit back and get the information that I'm supposed to get? Nope. I'm not going to get the information you're supposed to get. You're going to get what we give you. And you better hope that whatever we give you is true. And most times, like right now, who do you believe in? And I remember back in the day, who was it? The most, it was Don King was supposed to be like the biggest snake. Of course, you already know that Bob was back there too, so. And another one of the older herds was back there too, so. But mostly everything was being blamed on Don King. I'm not going to talk about what's common about the ones who get blamed. like Al Heyman, Don King, and other ones. But the ones that's really up to something, the ones that's really behind that curtain, trying to pretend like they not behind the curtain, we see them, and it's just that like you gotta get used to, speaking that snake. He said, "Eat wood." He says, "As long as viewers respect you, they won't get flattened." Yeah, flatline. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Now Don King might have that may be true, and we heard a lot about that. But he wasn't. It was actually there was a bunch of them that had mob ties. They just didn't get as big. They just didn't get as big. Go back to E though. Hey E, you got you got to invite them in though, man. You got to invite them in off the wall though. Sometimes because they be hanging back because because the thing is they're waiting for what some type of hateful comment. I'm not rushing it, but yeah, I'm just inviting them in. That's all. I'm just inviting them in. Do you guys come down? You know, chop it up because a lot of times because I might go 5 minutes. I might go 5 minutes of just talking or 10 minutes just talking, and then I'm not looking at what's going on with you guys, and we're not at that point yet to where I see a gray screen or something like that. We're not at that point yet. So that's why I invite them to come down and and participate, ask a question. Um, Even if I don't get to it, somebody in the chat they might get to it. And if you're new to boxing and stuff, you know, Eagle Face just hasn't got those videos. Now all of them, I'm not. I was thinking no telling what I might do. I'm not gonna put no promises out there, but I may not be. Like I might have gloves on sometime. I might have everything on sometime. I might not have nothing on. I might have street clothes on because this is just information. I'm not training nobody. Yes, you come to me, they're not training. But I'm not training nobody. Not like that. So that's what the video is. Just want to get everybody, the other people. I just want to get people educated. And I cannot educate you. Oh, E Wood, you said that's a cool picture of me and the natives. Yeah, yeah. I was surprised you can even see it so small on my screen. Yeah, yeah. That's me way on the. That's me on the right next to the. I'm on the outside of the wolf. Man, that wolf, man. If you see his eyes, if you see that wolf's eyes like close up, I mean, he's right there. He's actually not standing up. If you notice how tall he is, and he's not even standing up, it kind of it makes you a little bit shaky around him, man. And the brother with the leash is like, man, are you serious? That's not even a leash, man. So that wolf got to be like real disciplined. But he's a puppy though. He's a puppy, but he was huge, man. I mean, he was huge. That was in, that was the day before Mother's Day. That was the day before. That was the day before Mother's Day. Yeah, but back to what I was saying, I said I can't. I could teach you some things, or you might learn some things from me, which I appreciate if you do. But this whole outside, these outside parts of boxing, like the negotiation and all that, all we can do is speculate and talk. And you could be a professional. We got professional people that like really they're into the law and contracts and all that, but all contracts aren't the same. And you got breaches too, breaches of contract. You just got so much stuff. And then what about the promotional side of it? Now you got fighters contract. Now you got a contract with a venue. You got all kinds of stuff. You got what? whoever's going to televise it, or if it's on pay per view, you got contract there. You got contracts all over the place, and who holds that? And so we just on the outside. We just all we're waiting for is fights and dates and good matchups. There's no just I'm calling you out, let's fight, and then we gonna get there, and then we can say, oh yeah, we're gonna get this fight where somebody climb. Only time you get that is in today. When you get that is in the WWE, and we know how fake that is. It's the only time you get calls out and somebody come and answer you, and then you're gonna fight. This other stuff you just don't get it. Oh, I gotta talk to my promoter and this and that, and I gotta talk to that. What? Well, why are you telling us that you gotta talk to your promoter? We don't need to know that you gotta talk to your promoter, and I think we do know that. Just talk to your promoter. Don't tell us, oh, I gotta talk to the promoter. Go talk to him right now. Where's your promoter? Is he in the audience? Call him up. Just go talk to your promoter right now, and let's get this going. No. No calls out no more. There used to be a fighter just call you out and say, we fighting. We can fight next. We will fight next. You know. Now it's like you're a professional fighter. Oh yeah, I don't have much longer. We almost burnt up our time already. Shallow Nine. I appreciate you coming through though. Say catch you on the next stream, sir. Got something I gotta take care of. All of us gotta take care of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, but now go get your permission. It's like asking your mom for permission to go on a little vacation or a trip with a school project or something. Let me go get this permission slip filled out. You know, if they still have something like that, I'm not sure. I think they do. I think they have to. It's law that you got to get your parents' permission. You can't just drag kids off wherever you want to. But these fighters, man, but they're so much better though. No, don't want to fight, but you're so much better, but you don't want to fight nobody. You know what I mean? Getting all scared and, oh, yeah, I know why you don't want to fight certain fighters. Yeah, I don't blame you for not wanting to fight certain fighters. Well, the most avoided right now, we already know who that is. Yeah, that's Errol Spence and Deontay Wilder right now. Not the franchise champion. The franchise champion, everybody calling for the smoke. He got so much smoke in the room, he can't clear. I don't know how he gonna clear all that smoke. Yeah, he can clear it one at a time if he can, though. Yeah. But one thing I love about any of the fighters that I've heard in the past, you know, in the years that from me growing up and the stuff, when I listened to all the interviews and stuff with fighters that actually fought, you know, Sugar Ray Robinson, is they all gave him respect. A lot of them didn't like some of his brashness or something like that, and yeah, a lot of times he wouldn't shake hands with a lot of like the fighters that was coming up, like Carmen Basilio. Carmen Basilio actually beat him. Yeah, beat him once, and he was actually mad at Sugar Ray because Sugar Ray wouldn't shake his hand or whatever. But he came back and, you know, beat him up. If I'm not mistaken, came back and beat him the second time. But all the like the entourages and stuff like that, that actually, well, entourage, but that's a French word. But Sugar Ray Robinson was the first one that actually, you know, took that phrase and made it his. And because he liked it, and so he started using that, and he would pay a lot of times his purse. He get his purse, and he had so many people with him that his whole purse would go to the people that was with him. So he financially took care of them, because he was about to the entertainment and just like to have people around them. You know, and I thought that I think that's kind of interesting that even back then that you had like an entourage, you had all these people around you or with you, and like right now, if somebody's driving say for instance that one of the stars in boxing is driving their signature car or whatever. Now you might have a few people that wave and stop and look, but Sugar Ray would would drive down the avenue in New York and just stop everything, stop traffic. So I wonder if your franchise champion would be able to do the same thing in New York City or any city in the United States, or you're professed to be now greatest of all times, Pac Mini would be able to do that same thing. To be honest, I don't care about either one of them. I really don't. A lot of people like them and they all respect the skills and what they accomplish. Yeah. Watch the Marquez Pacquiao knockout, and then tell me what you see. When he gets knocked out, look at his boxing ability right before he gets knocked out. Look at what he's doing. As a matter of fact, look 10, 15 seconds up to before he got knocked out. Look at that. Look at his feet. And see how many times he's actually off the ground. He's not even planted. Feet are twisting all over the place. Just look and see. And let's look at the position he's in. Look at the angle that Marquez catches him. And that's the same thing I think Earl would do. Angles. Because with Pacquiao, it's angles. That's the key. I don't look, man. Sometimes I don't like to even give out information because these dumb trainers. I don't even understand what these trainers are doing, man. It's angles with Pacquiao. When somebody's rushing or jumping, you got to catch him with angles. If you can't, like, if you don't have a long reach to where you can back up out the way and crack them, then it's all about angles. As soon as he jumps in, I'm just waiting. I'm doing my regular boxing, but as soon as he jumps in the right time, that timing, bam, catch him with an angle. Then, because people that jump in and rush in, you can catch them with the hardest shots. People that try to be cautious and be on the outside or ducking, it's hard to catch them with hard shots. But somebody who's charging in or jumping in, it's easy to catch them with hard. It's easy to catch them. And just like our fight next month. A lot of people gonna argue, but I don't see it being that hard. I don't see it being that hard to catch Shiny Shine charging in. You better change something up. They better get wise about what they bring to the table. Because I think Mr. EJ is bringing the whole meal to the table and dessert. And I don't know what to expect when it comes to Shine Shine, what he's going to bring. If he's going to bring anything different. Is he bringing Tums? What he's bringing? He better bring something. Yeah, I just ended up calling him Shiny Shine. That's one of my boys' name. Shine. He ain't my boy, but he thinks I'm his dad. He always, I'm like his big brother or something like that. He doesn't come out because he's kind of, he has like a little issues and stuff. But I got him out one time. Almost got him in the arena at one time, but he'll come out to be with us. But he's just not really. He's not really stable and stuff. Got a short video on my Many Kind Hearts page with him. He's speaking in tongues, so I mean, and you can tell he doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. He kind of looks cool though, but he is white as white. To be a native, he's white. Yeah, he's white. He's white native. Funny, yeah. But that's my spill today, though, fellas, ladies and gents, is that put that in the argument. One punch knockout power, Sugar Ray Robinson. Greatest fighter, Sugar Ray Robinson. 202 fights, about 180 wins, something like that. I don't know exact numbers, but that's close enough. Over 100 knockouts. Almost got the light heavyweight. The condition didn't allow it. Just got too hot and passed out. And just all around, tried his best to be the entrepreneur. Did things for his community, far as try to uplift them. Was loved by too many people. And that happens sometimes when you're a star and you're a boxer or whatever. Sometimes that happens, And things go the way that they go. It depends on how you handle that success. And, so we can look back and there's probably some mistakes that if he were still here today that he would not have done. And he would have done things a little bit different. But I appreciate him being around. Yeah, because that's my family namesake right there. And that's about all I got for you guys. I'll read what you guys got on the way out. What you got there? Nope. And salute from Joseph Brown. Joseph Brown says facts. But again, I appreciate you guys coming in. And my shout out to the LDBC. And my shout out to all y'all that mess with me. And I'm out. Peace. Eagles Web Boxing, where you get the real, not just some deal.